It is truly an honor and a pleasure to be here with you today, back at the European Parliament. I'm sure you all know the feeling when sometimes a sound or a scent or something you see will spark a memory that will transport you back in time, sometimes decades. And you know exactly how you felt when that happened to you. I have a very vivid memory like that every time I walk up Rue Verte towards the European Parliament. It takes me back 22 years. An autumn day when I was walking towards the Parliament, about to start my first day as a trainee. I still remember the butterflies in my stomach. I have a few of them today also, I have to admit. But more importantly, I felt like I was a part of something very, very important. Now, I said this to a friend of mine earlier today, and she said, well, looked at me with a straight face, maybe in 20 years, you'll think back at this day and this hearing whenever you see a pack of lions. I assured her that I do not think it will come to that. I know what to expect. As many of you know, I also served as a member of this parliament for almost 10 years. So I used to be one of the lions, so to speak. It is your job to scrutinize me. It's your job to hold me responsible. It's your job to ask the difficult questions. I respect that. You are the voices of the citizens. I know you take that very seriously, as do I. Now, before I start talking about my portfolio, I want to share with you 4 principles that, if I am approved, hope can and will guide my work as a commissioner. 1, we need structural changes. The challenges that we face are so big, so challenging, that no easy fixes will do. We need real, long-lasting solutions. 2, at the same time though, we need to deliver tangible results, here and now, fast, that everybody, all citizens of Europe, can feel in their everyday life. 3, we need to put people first. This means listening to their concerns. Take them seriously. If we don't, it can threaten the EU project itself. We saw it with Brexit, and we've seen it with the rise of anti-EU sentiments in some member states. 4th, we need to be inclusive. Brussels can never become a bubble. This means that we must seek actively the engagement of our citizens, of our NGOs, civic society, companies, industry, labor unions, and include them in our decision making. Now, these are 4 important principles that I hope you will agree with. Turning to my portfolio. First, energy. Energy policy is at the core of almost all of the important challenges that we face today in Europe. It's about competitiveness, jobs and growth. It's about security, helping Ukraine win the war, becoming independent of Russian fuel. It's about fighting climate change. It's about social justice. These challenges and problems overlap, and so does the solutions. So, let me first share with you my analysis of these problems before I offer some answers and some prospects for the future. In my many meetings with many of you, one thing has been put to my attention by you more frequently than any other: the high energy prices. And I agree with you. We do have a challenge. Our industry is suffering. They are paying 2 or 3 times as much for the energy as their competitors in the US and China. Our households are suffering. Ordinary people are struggling to pay their bills. This will not stand. So, if I am approved as Commissioner, I will make it a top priority to bring down the prices of energy for our industry, for our people. One of the reasons the prices has gone up is obviously the war in Ukraine. And although we are at a much better place now than we were in the first months of the crisis, we are still not where we need to be. We used to get 45% of our gas from Russia. Now we're down to 18%. But 18% is still too much. We need to be 100% independent on Russian fuel. The third challenge I will mention is climate change. 75% of EU's greenhouse gases comes from energy. President von der Leyen has called the European Green Deal our answer to the call of history. I agree, and we need to continue this important work. There's no room for backtracking. On the contrary, we are in the middle of a process of fundamentally transforming the way we produce and consume energy. And if we do it right, we will strengthen our competitiveness and it will make us more prosperous. So this is the vision, and I believe it is possible. But not all Europeans would automatically feel that a green and clean transition is necessarily good for them. As a matter of fact, I know that some will worry. Some will be concerned. Will I lose my job? Will I need new skills? Am I up for it? Who will help me? These concerns are legitimate. We need to listen to them, and we need to have very concrete, very tangible answers to the questions. Now, let me turn to the other part of my portfolio, housing. I want to start by thanking you, the Parliament, for bringing this topic so high on the agenda. One of you said to me that at the election campaign this summer in his country, 3 topics were on the top of the agenda: housing, housing and housing. Now I know this differs from country to country, but there is no doubt that housing is something that concerns our citizens. It's something they worry about, and it's something that we need to take seriously. Right now, far too many Europeans struggle to find an affordable place to live. Prices of both buying and renting have gone up, affecting millions. This is unacceptable. It is the right of all citizens in the European Union to have an affordable, sustainable and decent home. At the same time, many Europeans experience energy poverty. Again, totally unacceptable. Obviously, a lot of these challenges need to be addressed in the member states. But there are things we can do, and there are things we will do from a European level. So, what to do about all these problems? It is clear that we live in a time of multiple interlinked crises. It's a tall order. The challenges may seem daunting, I think, to many, but I'm confident that we can mitigate them. Let me be concrete. If I am approved Commissioner, I will propose measures that will bring down the energy costs for our industry to strengthen the competitiveness of our companies and, at the same time, help bring down the bills for our households. I will do this as a part of a strategy to decarbonize our economy. And I will do it in a way where we will become 100% independent of Russian energy. How? Well, the first we need to do is deploy more renewable energy and more energy efficiency efforts. To do that, we need all tools in the toolbox, including expanding and strengthening grids and interconnectors, boosting digitalization, helping overcome supply chain problems, cutting red tape and bureaucracy, facilitating faster and more efficient permitting, boosting new technologies for energy storing, supporting carbon capture and storage and usage technology, supporting the development of hydrogen and power-to-X solutions. Many of you have asked me also about nuclear energy. So let me underline that yes, nuclear is and will continue to be an integrated part of the European energy mix. And yes, it is a part of the solution to decarbonize the European energy system. We will work fast. And already within the first 100 days, the Commission will present a clean industrial deal. This will include an action plan for affordable energy. And also, within the first 100 days, I will put forward a roadmap towards ending Russian energy import. Later will follow, among other things, a clean energy investment plan and an electrification action plan. On housing, the first thing I will do if I am approved as the first ever EU Commissioner for Housing is to start a dialogue, not only with you and the other EU institutions, that's important, but with all relevant stakeholders in the housing sector. On the basis of this, I will put forward the first of its kind European Affordable Housing Plan. This plan will include a strategy for housing construction, a pan-European investment platform in collaboration with the EIB, efforts to upskill and reskill workers, efforts to facilitate knowledge sharing and technical assistance. Apart from that, the Commission will double our funding in the Cohesion Fund for housing and reform state aid rules as to better enable support measures for social housing and energy efficiency in our member states. Now, allow me to summarize. We live in a time of many interlinked crises. A competitiveness crisis, a security crisis, a climate crisis, and a housing crisis. To address these challenges, to solve these problems, we need to make decisions guided by the principles I mentioned earlier. We need to make comprehensive, long-lasting structural change. No quick fixes will do. At the same time, we need to move fast and provide tangible results that all Europeans can see and feel here and now in their own lives. And the solutions need to put people first. And they need to be made in an inclusive way via outreach and dialogue. It will not be easy, but it can be done. Let's do it together. Honourable members, this concludes my introduction. I can honestly say that I look forward to the next couple of hours. I am being honest. I promise. Mr. Ehler said that's the only lie. No. I assure you. And I also assure you that I will promise to do my utmost to answer all of your questions as best I can. Thank you so much.